So in the division round, man, obviously to start off, you had the Chiefs and the Texans. I thought it was a great game. A lot of people is gonna tell you the Chiefs, the refs cheated for the Chiefs and stuff, but that really wasn't even the case, man. I think you gotta kind of ignore that. I feel like every time at this point, whenever the Chiefs win, people are automatically just saying, hey, the referees cheated, whether they even watched the game or not. And I know there was maybe one or two controversial calls, but there was no call that was just evident and gave the Chiefs a clear advantage to win that game. Like, there wasn't no crazy missed PI calls or crazy missed holding calls or holding calls that could help the Chiefs on a game-winning drive. It was nothing to that extent. Anything that happens in the first half that was like, okay, they capitalized on a fourth down or something, I mean, I can accept that type of stuff of like, yeah, it's swaying the game, but there's going to be bad calls. And Chiefs wasn't the only team that got hit with some bad calls. Texans also caught up on some bad calls that helped them out as well. But again, there was nothing that was just like a game-defining call that was missed or that was called in that game. So people they gonna run their mouth about the referees helping the Chiefs, and the referees has helped the Chiefs a lot during the regular season, but this definitely wasn't one of those games where it was defined by a referee. Nah. Shout out to the Chiefs winning though, man. I hope they three-peat. Still need to see Pat Mahomes make this history. I know some of y'all sick about that, but man, hey, this is the only time. Like, this is the only time we'll even be able to see someone three-peat. So let's see it, bro. Like, I think it's just dope to be able to go back and 10 years, 29 years from now, when people bring up the three-peat, you get to say you lived it. You watched it happen. You watched the dominant era of Patrick Mahomes win 3 championships back-to-back and just have a full grasp on the NFL. So, I mean, hey, I think it's dope, and I hope he get it done. Anyway, look, man, so congrats to the Kansas City Chiefs, taking care of business. They're advancing to the conference championship in the AFC. Now, the Commanders and the Lions, I just told you about that one. The Commanders ended up beating the Lions 45-31, and that was just a crazy game, man. Wonderful performance from the Commanders' offense, and even the defense tried to step up a little bit. But shout out to the offense, really, for going toe-to-toe with the Detroit Lions. I did not think they could do it. Many other people did not think they could do it, and I don't think anybody outside of Commanders fans even had faith that they could do it. And some Commanders fans probably didn't even have faith that they could beat the Detroit Lions, honestly. But congrats to them. Shout out to the Commanders for getting that done, going to the conference championship. Now, the Eagles and the Rams, that game was solid, man. Eagles, they just continue to prove that they're a well-rounded team. Like, damn. Eagles are well-rounded as hell. You can talk about them as much as you want, saying, oh, well, they can't do anything without running the ball, or the Eagles can't win without doing it. They can't win without that. They can't, like, you can do all of that talking at the end of the day, but the Eagles have continued to prove all through the season that they can beat you in multiple ways, whether that's handing the ball off to Saquon Barkley, whether that's the defense stepping up and getting stops, whether that's Jalen Hurts even throwing passes to get his team in great field position, kicking field goals, or actually running it in himself. So the Eagles have continuously showed everybody that they can beat you in multiple ways. And honestly, man, this is a very dangerous team. And Eagles, Eagles versus Commanders is going to be a good win. Eagles split this during the regular season against the Commanders. They won one and lost one. So it'll be interesting to see the Eagles defense go against a top-tier offense, or I guess they're a top-tier offense now, in the Commanders. So we'll see, man. It's going to be interesting, but I think the Eagles definitely going to take a trip to the Super Bowl this season. All right, so congrats to them. Shout out to the Eagles getting that done, 28-22 over the Rams. And then the Ravens and the Bills. Oh, this was a heartbreaker. I wasn't even going for the Ravens. I picked the Ravens to win, but I just wanted to see a good football game. So I wasn't really going for the Ravens. It was just tough, man. It was tough. But the turnovers will do it every single time. Teams cannot turn the ball over in these close type of matchups. Lamar Jackson turned the ball over far too much. So regardless of however you want to blame Mark Andrews for his drop at the end of the game, you take away those turnovers, we could have looked at a different ball game. There's something that could have been done earlier in the game that could have prevented that situation from even happening. But I will say one thing I did like about this Ravens and Bills games is the Ravens, they did adjust on the offensive end. We tried to see them go toe-to-toe with slinging a rock, throwing it in the air, and then they went back to square one. They said, you know what, in that third quarter, they said, hey, we got a great run game, so let's keep the ball on the ground and let's run it up. And that's eventually how they walked themselves back into this game. I wish I could have seen the Detroit Lions walk themselves back into the game, similar to how the Baltimore Ravens did in that Bills matchup, by putting the ball on the ground and realizing you have the advantage running the ball over this team. But the Ravens did it, came down to a close game. The Detroit Lions did not do that. They continued to try and air it out and let J-Mo throw the ball. Don't know why, but hey man, that's how it turned out. But shout out to the Bills. The Bills will go on and play the Chiefs. Another rematch of the AFC Championship. Man, this is gonna be a crazy, crazy game.